Okay. Hi
Hi.
guys. Oh my god, I'm
Hi.
so sorry. I've been having troubles with the internet, but thank you for waiting.
Same here. It's raining really
Yeah,
hard
yeah, it just rained
in
here.
Mindanao. Super. So,
Okay. Then we just have to extend 10 minutes. Yeah, thank you very much guys for waiting. We'll just continue the talk up to 9:10 if that's okay for you guys then. Yeah. So thank you very much for waiting. Maybe I should start right away. Okay. So, yeah, let me see who's here. Okay, we have Alicia, hi, Anne, Kevs, Kale, Michael, John, Okram, TJ, and Claire. Hi, guys. Thank you very much. Um, I hope this would stay stable connection right now. So, good evening, and uh, I see a lot of familiar faces, I mean, names. That's great. Also, thank you for regularly coming to our talks. And for those who are joining us for the first time, thank you very much too. If you can, please type your names in the Skype group chat that you just joined, then yeah, that would be nice. So we will know who just joined us now, okay? So, and I know that this pandemic has taken its toll on all of us, but I hope by attending our talks, we help you guys even a little bit on how to deal with the crisis we are all facing right now. Okay, so tonight's story is about excellence. The title is "Building a Reputation for Excellence," and I'm going to share my screen right now. So can you all see my screen?
yes.
Oh, hi, Kale. Welcome. So, yeah, so nice to have you here. Okay, so let me minimize that. Okay, so I need two volunteers to read. So, building a reputation for excellence, the fruits of sustained effort. So, can I have two volunteers to read who would like to start?
I could be one.
Okay, yes. Could you please read the first one, Kev? Thank you.
Okay. Building a reputation for excellence. The fruits of sustained effort. In the food loving city of Osaka, there is a famous noodle shop. The owner, an astute businessman, always makes a point of stopping in other noodle shops when he travels in order to try their wares. He asks in detail about the ingredients in the noodles, the soy sauce, and the broth. On returning to Osaka, he carefully compares his way of making noodles with the flavor of the product he sells. One day, a customer came from far away to visit the shop, drawn by its reputation. When he went in, he found the owner seated directly at the counter. To the customer's surprise, before serving a bowl of noodles, the waitress would first present it to the owner, who would sample it and then quietly pass verdict. Clearly, he lived by an unswerving principle. No customer of his would be served food that failed to meet his standards. At this demonstration of uncompromising commitment to quality, the man was filled with admiration. A reputation for excellence doesn't come about by chance, he realized, nor does it happen overnight.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. Then the next one, could I have some volunteer to read that?
I will.
Okay, yes, who's that? Oh, my,
Once a month. Hi, sorry.
go ahead.
Once a month approach the famous musician is Yusman Tauber. with a request for him to perform a piano piece. He was planning to release a new composition and wished the performance to go well. Thorberg's reply caught him by surprise. "Sorry, there isn't time enough for me to practice." "Surely a musician as great as yourself can learn a piece this simple in a matter of days," objected the man. "No," said Thorberg, "I will not perform any piece publicly unless I have practiced it more than 50 times a day for a month, or over 1,500 times in all." These were indeed the words of a master. Such is the dedication of great men. Anyone who seeks to distinguish himself while eating, drinking, and sleeping all the once might as well look for a fish in a tree.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for reading. So that was our story today. Building a reputation for excellence, the fruits of sustained effort. So, um, if you can't hear me well, just tell me, okay? There are two parts to this story, and they show two persons of excellence. So, the first one was a noodle shop owner, and who does his research really well, right? He travels and he tries noodles from different places. And from this, he compares his way of making noodles and upgrades his product accordingly. But he doesn't stop there. To ensure the quality of his products before it reaches the customer, he tastes it first, then gives a verdict if it will pass or not. This is what a good businessman do, right? Doing research and making sure that the quality of their products is up to standards. There are many companies who stood the test of times because their products are really of good quality, high quality. Sadly though, many too have diminished their quality, but people still patronize them because of the lack of an alternative. But going back to this noodle shop owner, he has the attitude of someone that strives for excellence. So looking at imagining this noodle shop owner from our story, could you pinpoint to me or tell me which of his qualities made him successful? You can talk or you could type in the Skype group we have. Yeah. So what do you think are his qualities that made him stand out or made him excellent or made him achieve that kind of excellence that he has right now? Well, okay, yeah, we have to move on. uh, uh, anyway, so basing on this story, okay, um, we can say that this man is successful because he does research, right? He does research and he does this by stopping at other noodle shops and asking details about their ingredients. Mm, maybe some would think it's almost bordering espionage, but anyway, from this we can say that he keeps learning. Okay, so this is one of the good qualities he have. He research and he keeps on learning. And second, okay, wait a second, guys. There's something. Okay, so second, we can say that another good quality of this noodle shop owner is that he evaluates his product. He does this by comparing it to other people's product. And yeah, so from there he can evaluate, he can gauge where his product stands. And third, from comparing, he then improves his product until such time that he perfects the flavor. It is said in the story that he wanted to perfect the flavor. But this man doesn't just stop at improving his product. He does analysis of the result after the improvement. Okay? He does this every time he tastes a dish and before it reaches the customer, um, he gives verdict, right? If it's if it pass his standards or not. So this way he can monitor how reliable the results are. But and by doing this, he can make sure that the perfect flavor he worked hard to improve on is replicated every time. So this shows that he upholds quality. Okay. So these are the five qualities I think that the shop owner has that contributed to his excellence and success. Research and keep on learning, evaluate, improve, analyze, and uphold quality. Okay. So do you agree with that, guys? Okay. So if you agree, then you could just type in the chat box or you could talk if you can. Let me just check Skype. Oh, there. Okay. Okram says willingness to be better. Ah, yeah, he has that drive, right? And Anne said by his learning and experience, and Kevin said he keeps on improving his standards. Okay, that's right. Sorry, I missed that, but yes, that is right. Everything that you said is right, and Anne agrees. Okay, thank you. So now going to the second man. The second man is a famous musician named Sigismund Thalberg. He refused to play a piece that he hasn't practiced enough. Um, I refused to play a piece requested of him because he doesn't have much time to practice rather for it. So I wanted to ask first, is anyone here a musician? Any one of you a musician or you play an instrument? Yeah, Sandy? Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. I wish I am.
Yeah, me too, I wish. So I think, okay, maybe there are none. Okay, let me check Skype. Okay, so maybe there is none, but yeah, I hope me too, right? I wanted to be a musician, but never had the time and money growing up to learn an instrument. But anyway, Talberg's decision was not to play the piece because he was not given enough time. And I think I kind of agree to this because for a man of Talberg's status, who is especially proficient in music, it would be his reputation on the line if he agrees to play a piece he hasn't practiced enough. So, as much as it's about the hours spent practicing, I think it's also about practicing until there is no possibility of slip ups when the performance comes, not when the performance is there. So, Talberg doesn't want to perform on a half baked practice piece. And I think we can relate to this, right? And I think this is true to all of us. The products that we do, or the performance we do, or the work that we do is connected to ourselves, connected to our name. So we don't want that. If it's something not good, we don't want that connected to our name. Sometimes we don't even want our names to be associated with mediocrity, right? Especially when we have to sign it, you know? So let alone something that is not a success. So this is so in Talberg's case, he showed his excellence to practice, right? To practice. So both this men, let me see. Oh, why is JB sad? Okay. I- Is he not able to join? Okay, so anyway, so both these men in our story prove that they are a man of excellence, one through his business and the other through his art. But it is not only limited to these two areas where we could show our excellence, right? Some are excellent in sports or in politics or excellent. Some are excellent parents and some are excellent kids, right? It is not only the things that could make us money or give us money that we consider as to be excellent or a success, right? The roles we play in our lives, like being a friend, being a partner, being a parent, a daughter, or a son, we can be excellent at those stuff too, right? But regardless of what area we are excellent in, there is one reason why we become excellent on it, right? So, can anyone tell me what that reason is? How do we become excellent on something? It is true what? Okay, yeah. So I'll give you time to think about that. So, what leads to our excellence? What kind of practice leads to being an excellent person at something? Oh, what's this chat? Oh, mastery of. Oh yeah, yeah. I know about that. Like you have to practice something 10,000 hours for you to be an excellent yeah uh, excellent at that. So enthusiasm, yeah, Michael is right too. Enthusiasm, and Anne is typing in Skype. If you love things, let's see. If you love things that you do and put your heart to it, to become your passion. Right? Passion is really important, right? Passion is important. So you would continuously do what you are doing. And Javier said repetition and motivation. Oh, I like that. You said repetition, right? Repetition does um, lead to excellence and motivation, and you should have that motivation so you could keep repeating what you do. Oh, and Kevin said consistent effort. So I like your answers, guys. They're spot on, and they are indeed um, all the things that contributes to excellence, right? Okay, so Sandy is typing. Okay, let's wait on that. Okay, so guys, yeah, okay, so it will be okay to type it in the Skype box so we could have what they call this. We could back read. So the Skype group chat serves as our notes too for those who weren't able to join or for those who are late in joining so they could read what we have been talking about. So yes, all your answers are right. Um, and motivation, repetition, passion, 10,000 hours of practice, and consistent efforts, right? Like Kevin said. So our story subtitle says the fruits of sustained effort. So this is, I think this sums up everything that you answered. This is the thing that could lead us to the path of excellence. But it's not just effort alone. It should be sustained. Okay, so sustained effort means what, like Kevin said, it's continuous effort, right? Continuous. So non-stop effort. Not It's not enough that we exert once or twice. It should be consistent, and this is how we build excellence. And this is something that I found online. Okay, thank you very much, Kevin, for pasting that. So this is something I found online about Stephen King. I think many of you know who Stephen King is too. I love his works and I love his books. So can someone please read? Anyone could volunteer to read if you could use your microphone.
Hello,
Okay.
Len.
Ah, okay, go ahead.
Okay. Uh,
Who's that? TJ?
TJ,
Okay, yeah, go ahead, TJ.
the fruits of sustained effort. King was broke and struggling when he was first trying to write. He lived in a trailer with his wife, also a writer, and they both worked multiple jobs to support their family while pursuing their craft. They were so poor they had to borrow clothes for their wedding and had gotten rid of the telephone because it was too expensive. King received so many rejection letters for his works that he developed a system for collecting them. In his book on writing, he recalls, "By the time I was 14, the nail in my wall would no longer support the weight of the rejection slips impaled upon it. I replaced the nail with a spike and kept on writing." He received 60 rejections before selling his first short story, "The Glass Floor," for $35.
Okay, thank you very much, TJ. Oh, you read really well. Thank you. So, yes, thank you very much. So, I like that line. The nail in the wall, in my wall, would no longer support the weight of the rejection slips impaled upon it. I replaced the nail with a spike and kept on writing. So, despite the rejections, he never stopped, kept on writing. And in the process of doing so, He even sharpened his writing skills. So Stephen King's story inspires us to persist through the struggles. Rejection shouldn't keep us from making a better version of ourselves because rejection doesn't mean we're not good, right? Rejection doesn't mean we're not good. It just means that there are people who have not recognized or will never ever recognize our worth. And this is a sad truth. So we have to break free from that paralyzing stage of always getting rejected. Because soon enough, the right people will recognize the worth of what we have to offer. Okay? So the right people will acknowledge it. So hang in there and then just continue striving, whoever needs to hear that. So you have to remember rejection is not a death sentence and it doesn't mean you're not good enough. You just have to meet the right people who would see your true worth or the true value of what you have to offer. Okay? So, do you have any questions so far before we continue? Anything? Oh, thank you, Anne. I love it. Thank you. Yes, I love that too. Because this gives hope, right? And we have to admit rejection is one of those things that's really depressing and paralyzing. I have no other words to describe it. It's paralyzing when you're rejected. It's like the whole world fell on you, right? Right? Oh, yeah. Wants to talk? Yeah. So yeah, if you want to add something to that, or if you want to ask something, please do so. Okay. So does anyone want to add to that or say something? Oh yes, it's motivating to said, and yes, it is. It makes us to uh, keep moving forward, right? Okay, so if there is none, so let me continue, okay? So, um, this story about the main story, the story we just read earlier. So this story tells us about making effort. So making effort is one of the six parameters or the six good deeds as taught in Buddhism. So this means deliberate practice. Example is doing good actions even when no one is looking, right? It is the consistency of doing things no matter how small. So small consistencies are better over time than doing nothing at all, right? And for those of you who have been regularly attending our talks, you might have heard about these six parameters or six good deeds before. And here are the rest. Here's the five. So we have kindness or giving, which can be material or non-material form. So you don't have to worry if you don't have a lot, you can still give. Then keeping promise or discipline. This is staying true to your words. Then patience and forbearance. This is the capacity to tolerate without getting angry. And then we have making effort, the one we just described. And then there's self-evaluation or self-reflection, number five. This is assessment of one's action, looking into ourselves and learning from our mistakes. And lastly, there's self-improvement or self-cultivation. This is wisdom, and this sums up all the five parameters. In Buddhism, we always say that we should do good things and we should do it now. But we tend to get overwhelmed with the many forms of good deeds we can do. So, um, because of this, we don't know where to start, right? Like, okay, what good deed should I do? Where should I start? Usually, that's the question. Many of us would like uh, an improved versions of ourselves and by doing good deeds, but we don't know where to start. So, this is why we have the six parameters in Buddhism. We are taught that we just have to choose one good deed. Choose one good deed that you can do well and do the best you can performing it. And then eventually, you'll see that you are already doing the five others too. So for me, in my case, when this was presented to me, I chose making effort. This is the parameter of my choice. So I focus on practicing this, and it's different for some people, right? It's different for everyone, but this is a good start to start doing more good deeds. I wonder, Kevin, have you chosen the good deed? Which good deed have you chosen to focus on?
I'm more into self-reflection. So
Awesome
yeah,
reflection. Oh, how
because I
about,
really
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's okay. Yeah, so I really like to at the end of the day think
Mhm.
about what happened and just do better the next day. So
I like that. Do better the next day. Yeah, yeah. That should be that should go hand in hand. It's not just like, okay, I did this, but yeah, there should be a promise for change behavior, right? That's for the next day. And John is here. John, which is your parameter of choice?
Patience or forbearance.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you get angry all the time? No, just kidding. But yeah, that's your choice. So, yeah. I wonder if Sandy, have you chosen your parameter of choice? I mean, chosen your parameter of choice. I mean, have you already chosen a?
Well, actually,
Uh,
say patience.
oh, okay. Same with John. Yeah, actually, many people choose
Right.
that. Many people choose that. Yeah,
Mm.
I've encountered a lot of people who choose patience. So, you guys, those who have just encountered the parameters, you can choose one. Okay, so practice it well, and eventually you'll realize that you're performing the other deeds, the other good deeds too. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, same here. Patience, Sandy said. Kale said it's self-improvement or cultivation. Okay, wow. Yeah, yeah, that one I kind of find it hard. I think I'm not equipped for it yet. Yeah. So yeah, good for you, Kale. So yeah, please share with us which parameter do you think you can perform well, or to choose to promise yourself to follow and do every day. And John said, patience keeps everything peaceful. Yeah, that's true, right? So we shouldn't rock our patience. So, do you have any questions, by the way, before we proceed? Let's see, Skype. Okay, Anne said practice self-improvement, cultivation. Wow, okay. Yeah. You're not easy to be angry or to use kindness. Oh, yeah, you tell them. That's true. It's not really easy to, you know, in the surface, right? When you said, "Oh, I'm going to do good," it's like easy, right? Oh, I could do that. That's nothing. But when you practice it and you practice it daily and every day, and you make a deliberate practice, constant effort to practice it, you will realize how hard it is, especially in difficult situations, and especially, most especially, with facing difficult people. Oh, that's yeah, that's the time that you would it would really test you. Okay, Okram would like self-improvement and self-cultivation. Wow. Okay, guys, so thank you. So that's nice. And I hope you do practice the parameter of your choice. So if you don't have questions, I have a question for you guys. And this is this is it. So since we're talking about since we're talking about what's going on here. Okay, so since we're talking about excellence, I want to ask, what is your expertise? And my follow-up question for that is, what were the efforts and sacrifices you made to reach that expertise? So I want to tell first, the reason I ask this because of several things. First is by sharing how you became expert in your field, we can motivate others to do the same, right? To be an inspiration to those who are here. Second, we do these talks so that you may become more familiar with Buddhism, and in the process, we wish that you would pick up lessons to use in your daily lives. But we also wish that you could make connections with these talks. And right now, this is a good opportunity by stating what your expertise is. maybe some people here may need your services in the future, right? Or even now, even right now, maybe some are seeking what you're offering. So let's take that opportunity. Sorry. Okay. So let's take that opportunity, shall we? And please state what your expertise is, and yeah, and how you arrive or how you became expert at what you're doing. Okay. So, okay, you could just type that in the Skype chat box because I just realized we're out of time. But maybe I'll start first so you would be more comfortable to share what your expertise is. So I'm Len and I'm a graphics artist and been working from home since 2012. So ever since this ECQ, nothing much has changed. But nowadays I do mostly web ads. But how I got here is that it's because I have been using graphic software for more than 20 years now. And I remember, I think I started using Photoshop when it was just Adobe Photoshop 3. So, yeah, that's a long time ago. So, from the continuous usage of this and from the continuous work of doing graphic design or layouts and stuff like that, and by doing, I became a webmaster for some time too, but that involves graphics too and design. So all those years, all those continuous years of using this graphic software, design software, and making these designs, I have developed a level of proficiency in what I do. Okay, so something like that, if you're comfortable to share, so that maybe we could hire your expertise later, okay? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, well, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much. And we will have other talks in different topics on Buddhism. We will announce it in Skype and in the Skype group chat and in our Facebook group. And I hope we could see you all there. Okay. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Miss Elaine.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Len.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.